Hi, I'm Barbara. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome here for the first time. This video is something that I would like to share with you about my approach to the Western medicine and why I don't really go to the doctors. I want to clarify at the beginning that this is not a suggestion to you that you should do it or don't do it or whatever. This is my personal experience, my belief, and the way I approach my life. I grew up in a household where my mom was a nurse and she knew a lot about healing and illnesses, and she had a very holistic approach to healing. So she would not take us to the doctor unless it was super critical and she couldn't heal us with the homemade remedies. So she would make us a special syrup for cough, or all different kinds of just old ways how people used to, cure just simple little cold and runny nose and little cough, nothing major. Of course, like if we were really, really sick, which wasn't very often, she would take us to the doctor, but it wasn't very common. Also, her ex-boyfriend is a doctor. He's a surgeon, and also he is acupuncturist and homeopathist. And so anytime, if it was possible, she would consult with him and she would get homeopathy for us, or she would even get some acupuncture for her back or her neck problem. My dad too. So it was something that I just grew up with almost 40 years ago, which was not very common back then. Now it's way more open, way more common, and people become way more accustomed to that approach. Well, that would be my hope, that the Western and Eastern medicine can somehow bridge and find use in each other, because I'm not saying that Western medicine is bad. I'm not saying that Western medicine doesn't have its place. It's just flawed, like people, like everything. And I just don't like how compartmentalized the Western medicine is. It's focusing on one and only issue separately. It's not looking as a human being as a whole being. And I think that that's not a very wise approach because we are not just the body. We have a magnetic field around ourselves. No wonder why the placebo works. Usually I think in some studies they found that sometimes it works 80% for healing people, which is a lot. That's a big percentage of healing. And again, I'm not saying, your mind is gonna heal you all without any medicine or without any approach. For example, I had a baby that was breached, head up, which is not supposed to like that. It's definitely making it way more complicated and difficult to be born. And I was weighing my options because I wanted to have home birth, natural birth. And I know that here in America, people are not as skilled with delivering babies breached. And it's just more risks. So it's way more common to have a C-section. Even though I didn't want to have C-section, so I was thinking, what can I do that it would be safe? My midwife tried to change the position of my baby, which did not work out. And since I'm very in touch with my intuition, I was following my intuition and feeling out the best possible outcome for me and my baby, and that was a C-section at that moment. That's why I had C-section, and everything went well because I was ready for it. Mentally, I was prepared. There was no conflict. I, made my mental way through it, so I would make my peace with it. But that was kind of an extreme situation, and so I had to take extreme measure. We have to still consider that even though C-section is very common, and nowadays it's very, very much part of women's experience of birth, it's still a major surgery. They're still cutting open your abdomen and there can be complications, there can be some infection, there can be problems. So if I can give you any advice, I know that it's your choice and your body to work with, but if you have the option to have natural birth, I think it's always safer than the C-section. And I also think that the Western medicine is amazing when it comes down to, cutting, sewing, changing something that is broken and that can be replaced nowadays. It's really a remarkable where the Western medicine got. At the same time, we still have to consider that anything that we put in our body that is extra can cause some disharmony, some disbalance in our body, because our body works as one organism. It's many different things working together. And when there is some disbalance in some part, it can create another disbalance in some other part. So I'm very happy that nowadays the scientists are coming with new discovery that the mind is very important and it's influencing the whole body, that our magnetic field is also sensing certain things and it can be changed based on how we feel. And our heart has also a very strong signal that is creating also very different frequency and resonance. I just have a feeling that the doctors that are not holistic and who don't have the holistic approach, they're trained to look for some problem that can be solved. And I don't want to be a problem that is solved. I do want to be looked at as a human being that is very complex. I don't really see that much happening in the Western medicine right now, or most doctors that I had encountered. They have their truth, they have their beliefs, there is dogma, there are so many different things that play part. There's also big pharma that is, of course, trying to sell a lot of products. So there are doctors who are told what to sell for which problem, what cure is for what, instead of approaching the whole health as very complex, because our diet is very important to how we feel, how our body works. What you put in your body, that's how you're gonna feel. I think that nowadays we have a tendency to put more care into our car or things than our own body. We don't exercise enough, we don't eat healthy enough, and we don't have the mental health that we need to be overall healthy. And then we just take a pill and think that the problem is gonna magically disappear, but it's just repressing the actual problem that is lingering and it's coming on the surface. So I believe that it's way more beneficial to listen to our body, to its messages, that it's saying, hey, there is a pain. If there is a pain, it means that there is disharmony. The pain is always telling us that there is something wrong, that there is something that is not in alignment, there's some disharmony. And if we pay attention to it, we're gonna have much happier life. And so that's my approach. I don't avoid doctors. I'm not trying to think that I am more skilled or more educated than them. I am simply listening to my intuition, my body, and I'm trying to figure out what's best for me. I really like Ayurveda and Ayurvedic approach, and it says, what's one man's cure is one man's poison. And we have to consider that as well. There is not one and only best diet for everyone. We have different climates, we have different lifestyle, we have so many different things that come together. So we have to do us and we have to find what works best for us as an individual. Even within a family, we are different body types, we have different metabolism, we have different lifestyle again. So even within the one unit family, there can be many different factors that change the way how we are. That's my stand. That's my approach to it, and I am always going to doctors if I cannot find any other option. but I'm always looking for some holistic option, some natural remedy. For me, it's important to approach life as whole, not just different departments. So I do believe, and I have enough experience to see that what I put in my body, that's how I'm gonna feel. And if I'm not loving myself enough and I'm not putting good things that are fueling my body well, then I'm feeling like crap. And it just affects my mood and it affects my health. It snowballs downhill. Just think about that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video maybe brought in some questions for you to look up or think about. And if you like this video, please subscribe and give like this video. And I'll be looking forward to see you at my next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye.